Yeah, how's it going? Today is 19th of July, Friday, and there's a lot of catching up to do. So today I need to review perhaps 20 different press releases, since all of those would be very important, and I'm behind, about 2 days behind, so I need to catch up with all the most recent press releases and everything what's happening. So I was considering cutting into perhaps two press releases and trying to put them within time frame, perhaps within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so we can cover all the press releases and to get things up to date, quote unquote, right? First one, that way government launches curriculum annual assessment review. If I know it, perhaps government knows it as well. That will be math in particular, right? So if we're gonna address it, who knows? But that's the area that we need to improve, right? Math, and if we can, as early as possible. So if they will find that during this assessment, perhaps. But if not, let's take a look at this article. I haven't read it yet. That would be leading education expert. There is a name there. Name as a review chair. Perhaps they should consider improving. Would that be hours? So whatever currently are things within every week, right? How many hours people, young adults, spending time learning about math. Let's improve these numbers and increase them by additional, I don't know, a few hours at least. But either way, first step would be having this review. So let's read the entire article, and from there we can progress. A broader, richer, cutting-edge curriculum that drives high and all-rising school standards and sets all young people up for life work will be central for the government's vision for education. As it launched its wide-ranging curriculum and assessment review today, spanning from Key Stage 1 throughout the Key Stage 5. The independent review will be chaired by, there's a name there, an expert education policy, including curriculum and all social inequality. The review will look closely at the key challenges to attaining for young people and all barriers would hold children back from opportunities and all life changes they deserve, particularly those who are socioeconomically disadvantaged or with special educational needs or disabilities. High and rising school standards are the heart of the government's mission to break down barriers for opportunity, giving every child the best start in life. Following the review, all state schools, including academia, who currently do not have the following national curriculum, will be required by law to teach the national curriculum up to age 16, giving parents certainty over their children's education. This was confirmed in the King's speech earlier this week, as the government will introduce Children's Wellbeing Bill in the next year of legislation for the variety of education policies. Let's close on that. Perhaps there's one more point to mention. The government ambition for curriculum was delivered excellent foundation is reading, writing, and all maths, and ensures every young person gets the opportunity to develop creative digital and or speaking and or listening skills, particularly prized by employers. Where you will also seek to make sure children benefit from curriculum that represents them and their families, regardless of their background. Equipped young people will shape their response to the challenges of our changing world. The review will build on the hard work of the teachers who have brought the subject aligned with technology-rich teaching to deliver a new national curriculum which rich and on board, inclusive and innovative. The review will look in ensuring all young people aged 16 to 19 have access to rigorous and high-value qualifications and no training that will give them the skills they need and seize opportunity, as well as ensure they are ready to work on challenging workplaces. It will also look at where the current assessment of systems can improve for both young people and our staff while protecting the important roles of examinations. Just briefly, right? So they already, many people will perhaps argue that young adults were already overloaded. So if they interested in additional things to learn on top of the core principles or standards that everyone would have, if they're interested in additional things, they might consider IT, coding, and or math and or financial skills, right? They should consider then additional things. I would say, but I don't know. So perhaps when you are young, that's the time to learn all these kind of things. But people can get overloaded with how much they would need to learn about, in particular, these areas that I have just mentioned. But perhaps that would be for government, assisted by industry professionals, right? Just closing the statement, that would be the review of expert parents, teachers, and leaders will be provided to the recommendations and all call for evidence with will be launched in September. So there's still some time, right? The review will also take written evidence from key stakeholders and undertake national roadshow meeting. They're taking input from staff and all frontline. The launch of the review marks one of the government's first steps towards educational system driven by high standards or rising standards where background is no barrier and every young person leaves school or college with the best life chances. The recognition, they have mentioned this 3 times now, and I'm trying to keep this video very short. But either way, let's progress. In recognition of the, I thought it might be worth mentioning whoever's writing it. We don't need to repeat it. If you mention that once, I mean, perhaps it's important for some people to repeat it, but it's digest up to 30 seconds. Then we can cover all articles, if that makes sense. Thank you. In recognition of pressure, schools and colleges are already under the further train and or wholesome reform can bring. The review will seek evaluation, not revolution, and will be alive for a trade office required to deliver high rising standards along with the greater benefits, in particular any recommendations that will increase workload. Exactly, just finding that right balance, and or perhaps people, if they're interested, they can pursue additional training when it comes to perhaps finances or math or all these kind of areas, as well as creative arts like coding and or perhaps similar areas that are very important in later life. Not necessarily just to become a worker, but business, how to build businesses, right? Professor, there's a name there, will be supported by an expert group made of individuals with expertise right throughout the educational system. The review will probably publish recommendations in 2025. So perhaps they would have 9 months or so to publish entire work that we're going to be most likely taking a look at, right? Let's progress to the next article. Next article, I'm myself very interested. I think there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to farming and all food production. And I'm interested with the new leadership, if there would be any changes in the industry and what's going to be happening. That would be Minister, there's a name there, and a few summer reception speech. Usually it might take a little bit of time, right? Perhaps people coming into this, they might have a lot of ideas, but first they would like to reflect where things are before making changes. So while taking a look at this article, best approach might be within the next 2 or 3 months begin slowly over time making some changes, right? More than likely, everyone fall asleep by if I will read it. I will read it in my own time in just a second. But if I will read this article, and that would be overall a person coming into this will like to understand it. I already know, I have read it already know before making any changes, right? And from there, perhaps for the next 2 months or 3 months, the slow changes might be coming into effect, and those we could try to understand it. That's most sensible approach to have. And I had reviewed this article, not necessarily there are any numbers, so it's something that I would be looking for, hard data, and there isn't any hard data. So let's close this video on this point, and let's cover the rest of our articles in next videos. Thanks for watching. See you next video very soon.